Welcome everybody tonight to IDT520 Strategies for Learner Engagement. This is take two, maybe three. But anyway, with us tonight is Cody Heck, who I said earlier just got back from Washington, D.C., and I'm so envious of that because I love D.C., the area there. Say hello, Cody.
Hello.
All right, excellent. That works. Now let's try it this way. Cody, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. It's recording just the way it should be. Excellent. So those of you who might be listening to this one, because I've got two recordings going on here through ScreenFlow and also go to training, and we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so we're going to give it our best shot here. Okay. Okay, Cody, I'm glad you're here with us. Looks like it just, let's just say, as they say, just you and me, kid. So there you go. All right. Cody, tell me something about yourself. Where do you live? I mean, uh, uh, what do you do? So on and so forth. If you don't want to say, as far as the job is concerned, I just yeah, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Okay, Cody. May I say it, Cody?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Cody works at Full Sail University. Okay, and he's a
hmm
student coming through the program here. But I forget what department are you in, Cody?
I work in admissions as a training coordinator. So I do essentially continuing education and new hire training.
Excellent. Well then, as a training coordinator, all right. Let's go on tonight's discussion here for a second. All right, and Uh, there's a reason why I'm saying this. We'll talk about for the overview of the strategies, motivation, interactivity, so on and so forth, using technology, game-based learning, and learning is visual. And if there's time, we'll talk about some APA stuff. Okay, Cody, your motivation. What is motivation? Now, so you're a training coordinator, all right? So
Yeah.
tell me what does that mean?
So essentially, do you mean what does it mean as far as my role, or what does it mean like theoretically?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I get to ask this question a lot about like what does training mean to me. And
Yes.
as far as training and what it means to me
Yes.
conceptually
Yes.
is that I think that there's a lot of so I do corporate training. I don't do K through 12.
hmm
So I do pretty much adult development. So because of that, I just come from a different place when it comes to motivation. For in my role is directly for me personally. I'm motivated by essentially seeing people succeed. For my learners and my trainees, I think that part of the reason why they are here is because they're also looking to succeed in that capacity as well. So
Excellent.
I come from kind of a different place where I
Excuse
don't
me.
have to worry about kids and figuring out stuff like that. I can directly ask an adult what motivates them. So
Excellent. Now, what's your motivation? This is what I asked on the go-to training last week. What's your motivation for being in the program? Your motivation and
I
what keeps you going. There's
uh,
motivation, then volition. They're two different things.
right. So my motivation um, and honestly a little bit of my volition as well is really just probably fear fear of
Fear.
failure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So um, and I think that that kind of splashes into both my motivation and my volition. um, and as far as like what motivates me to keep going and go into this program is the motivation to essentially continue growing within the organization
Oh,
and within the
excellent.
company.
Excellent.
So
Well, good for you. Good for you. That's how it
yeah.
should be, really. And with that attitude and that motivation, that inner drive and the volition that what keeps you, it's the motivation that gets you going. Okay, and
Mhm.
it's that volition that keeps you going. Okay, it's like a car, the ignition. Okay, the motivation is you are turning the ignition on. But or if you're like me, I don't know if you're like me or not, but what I'm saying is I have a Prius. I just push the
Yeah.
button, all right, and the motor turns on. Well, it sounds
Yeah.
like actually kind of hard to hear if it turns on or not. But volition, that's when you put the as they say it, the uh, pedal to the metal. All right,
Yeah.
and gives it the gas and fuel that needs to keep going. That's my.
Right.
But then with that though, isn't there some curiosity involved in there
Oh, for
somewhere?
sure.
And how
Yeah.
about and speaking of you, and I'm trying to relate it more to you because you're here tonight, but you are the learner, okay? And I'm a learner too, but I'm saying as far as learner is concerned, motivation, volition, there's curiosity in there. To feel that curiosity, that there's a gap there that makes that curiosity, that makes one curious and related to one's goals. I mean, I know you didn't do this. Let's see. We got all these different master's programs here at Full Sail, and I'm just going to put all the names into a hat and pull out one and do that one. I know you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's related to your goals,
Yeah,
right?
no, well, I'm already a trainer, so it was just kind of a natural
Yeah.
progression for me.
You're already a trainer. I mean, you're a trainer. It's time to get into instructional design and technology and learn what's going on with that. How to become a full-fledged instructional designer because you know what you've already designed training, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the you've been gaining the how long you been doing it? How long you been doing it?
Not very long. I mean, I was creating training content when I worked in a different department for Full Sail, but
Uh-huh.
I was not a trainer by any standard. Uh, I've only been in this role for about 6 months or so. So
No, but you've designed training though. That's what I'm saying. You've had experience in designing training.
yes, yeah, since I've joined the team, yeah.
Right, but now you're going in and see what we're doing here is talking about the theories and the strategies that deal with that training, that how to make that training engaging,
Hmm.
alluring, to want to bring the learner back to it, keep the learner there, and bring the learner back after like a training module is over.
Right.
So you're going to have some fun with this program. You really, really are. I can tell that already, Cody.
Good.
Well, let me ask you this, okay, Cody. Thinking of your own experience here, okay,
Mhm.
what I'm sure that you've had success, if I may, with all of us, you've had probably successes and some failures, so to speak, during your sojourn as a training coordinator. Okay, and I say that only because we all learn and try to do better. Do we not?
Yeah, absolutely. I would completely
Okay,
agree with that.
so what's your take on this thing that's called success breeds success?
I think that if I had to like go from it at a theoretical standpoint, I
Go
think that
ahead.
it would come from if you are if you are putting your heart into something, even if it's menial and it doesn't matter much to you personally right now. If you're successful at that, it will lead to success later on.
Ooh. How's that? How does success lead to success? I mean, this I succeeded today, so tomorrow I'm going to succeed. Um, it's it, it's got to be more than that. There's got to be something happening inside with that motivation and volition at the same time.
I think it's the desire to go for opportunities that are placed before you. And when I'm talking about opportunities that are seemingly menial
Mm,
to you, so the way I think about it is like a graphic designer. A
okay.
graphic designer maybe wants to start making $500 on their graphics as opposed to 250. Well, maybe they're not their portfolio isn't at the place right now to start producing that content at that level. So what they're doing is they're taking lower paying jobs, telling them, "Hey, I'm going to give you this special rate, but please tell everybody that I charge you this rate." And that success, even though you're not making what you want right now, will eventually lead to success down the road.
Ooh,
That's
excellent.
how I've always taken it.
Excuse me, I had to block out the sound of a cough, although you can see it on the screen later on. Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
All right, now, so that success breeds success. It builds that confidence in our learners when we set up our instruction, when we design our instruction, giving
Mm-hmm.
them opportunities. They have to we want them to push themselves. We want them. We just don't say, okay, here you go, and here are the answers. you know, we don't dumb things down in our instruction. We make it challenging yet engaging, and
Mm-hmm.
allowing the opportunity to succeed or fail, depending on what the students, how they prepare themselves or how they conduct themselves, so how the learners prepare or conduct themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look, when you succeed at something, doesn't it make you think, I succeeded? I That gives me that confidence. I want to I want to try again. I want to do
Mhm.
go to a higher. I mean, look, what were you doing? Okay, let me ask you this. What were you doing? I'm trying to bear with me here. I'm trying to relate this all to you. I really am.
Mhm.
And to
Right.
those who are and listening to the archive. What were you doing before you came to Full Sail?
Before this,
Before you
I
now did you
was
graduate with the bachelor's here?
no, I actually graduated with just a general organizational leadership degree from a local community college.
Okay, okay. So what did you what were you doing before job wise? What were you doing before you came into Full Sail?
I was a hairdresser.
Okay, so then you something made you change to want to come here and work in training or do something or am I hitting this right or am I way off
Yeah,
base here?
yeah. I work in higher education. I really have always wanted to do that. So I was, yeah, sought it out.
As a hairdresser, did you conduct training?
No, not at all.
Well, it's got to be in your blood somewhere because otherwise, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, well, cool, cool. Um, but okay, so when you came to Full Sail, you said you were in a different department before you were before where you are now.
Mhm.
Okay, what were you doing in that department, if I may ask?
So I worked in admissions initially. So I was an admissions rep.
Your missions rep. Okay, that's right. You told it to me earlier. But now you're a missions rep. But now you are an admissions
Trainer.
training coordinator, right?
Yes.
Okay, which just leads totally into you've experienced success along the way. Look, you probably wouldn't have got to where you are now, Cody, and this is on everybody else in your positions as well. If you had not experienced some success somewhere along the way there, to give you say, you know
Right.
what, I want to shoot for this. I want to try for this other position here. I want to do this because uh, I've succeeded in this area here. That gives you confidence, right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's what we do with our learners. We set it up to where they can have success. They have to work at it, or else it's not valuable. They have to see it as being of value. And
Of
so, as
course.
instructional designers, we go in there and
Mhm.
we explore strategies and find strategies out there that deal with learner engagement and apply it to
Mhm.
the training that we develop, that we design and develop, making sure that they have opportunities to succeed. And then once they succeed, help them raise to a higher level where they can keep improving and keep improving and keep improving. In other words,
Mhm.
I just there you go. We give them outcomes. Now, in your mind, okay, there's people, there's a what we call a measurable learning outcome, a measurable learning objective. Do you know the difference
Mhm.
between those two?
A measurable learning objective would be essentially the goal of learning. The measurable learning, I'm sorry, the one right before that was I'm sorry,
Measurable learning objective,
objective. So that would be the goal. And then the second one was, repeat that for me.
measurable learning outcome.
Okay. Maybe I might be getting those confused. I
Okay,
apologize. I don't
no. I'm sorry. I kind of set you up. Sorry,
know.
my bad. The objectives, okay, get us to the outcome.
Got it.
All right. The outcome. This is poor English, but it's the outcome is what you want them to walk out the door with. Never end a sentence with a preposition, okay? Or it's what you want them to walk out. It's those things with which you want them to walk out the door that they can carry
Got it.
with them. Those skills, that knowledge base, talents, etc., abilities. It's what you want them to walk away with from the learning. Those are the outcomes. The objectives are what get you to the outcomes. Picture like climbing the ladder. The rings of the ladder are the objectives, and um, the top of the ladder. Or rather, you say, I climbed the ladder without falling down. Yes, that was the outcome, so to
Yeah.
speak. Follow?
Yeah. So like essentially checkpoints
Ooh,
until your final destination.
checkpoints. That's right. Final destination. Is that some? Is that a movie or is that a game?
Yeah. It's a horror movie.
Horror movie.
Yeah.
I, Did you see it?
Of course, yeah. Seen them all.
I did not. So I don't do horror movies too well. I really don't. Well, if I see a horror movie, I'll need to come home and turn on all the lights and keep them on. Okay. Anyway, so meet those outcomes. My intentions were to do this or do that, and those are what you want. It's those intentions that fuel that motivation and volition that help fill that gap, that curiosity there. And that's where that's my intentions helps us to the intentions help us to relate what we're doing to our goals so that we can fulfill the goals. The goals are the outcomes. Okay, think about that. And then
Yeah.
as you go along, success you experience success that gives you the confidence that you want to do that you want to have to try something else. Okay, to gives you that to step into the dark a little bit, and as you succeed, that dark becomes light. If you know what I'm saying, if you understand the analogy there, or if I'm clear on the analogy, I know you understand things. But am I clear on what I'm telling you? Yeah, so that's why I say that. You still there, Cody? I don't know what happened to you. I hope you're all right. All right, let's pause for a moment and see if Cody's okay. All right, Cody's back. Now, we're going to talk about. I thought, what did I say? He left. Oh, no. Okay. No. Um, Technology is going weird tonight. You know that? It shows you being in the course twice. Cody Heck and the Cody Heck dash offline. Weird. Are you there? Okay, good. Okay. All right. What is this term interactivity? What does that mean to you, Cody?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, what does that mean to you? Learner activity. Okay, learner engagement dealing with learner engagement strategies. What is interactivity to you?
Interactivity is essentially doing something. Typically, I consider this physical as well
Mm-hmm.
as mental. So I'm doing I in training we do a lot of tell, show, do, review. So interactivity to me would be the do part of it. So they're doing something in addition to being told and shown how to do it.
Okay, what if you were given training that strictly had just nothing, that strictly just had words and nothing else? No voice, no anything, just words reading on a page.
I would you could essentially make a game out of it. You can make it engaging by giving them something more to grasp onto other than just spouting information.
Sure, sure. Yeah. When there's one time where there was one time at an institution where I had to receive training, or rather, we were required to take training, okay,
Mm-hmm.
on how to make things interactive. All right, and all it was reading columns of text on the screen. So, in an effort to help us to understand making our instruction interactive, we were not seeing a good example of anything being interactive in this training that at this institution that I was at before.
Right.
It was like boring. All right, but what happens when you start putting words and images together, especially if those images move or can interact? I mean, what happens to your brain when you do that? To you, Cody?
You start to relate the words to the images, so it's easier to remember blocks of text.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The more images, the more word, the more interactivity you get, the more engagement you get. And so that's what I'm stressing here, and because there are many different strategies for learner engagement. The idea is to find the right ones for your learners, or rather, you look at the age group, the demographics of them, the and you give them different opportunities to succeed, to experience the instruction, and let them choose what is the best route for them. But you have to
Right.
supply those routes for them. Okay, and you do that by getting them to be by allowing them to be immersed into the learning environments. Because the deeper they can go in, the more interactive it is, the more hands-on. All right, the more learning will take place. But let me ask you this: can digital be hands-on?
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
I'm
so
sorry.
to explain that, I guess.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I do think that it can be hands-on. A really good example of this would be Full Sail's Project Launchbox. So it's not just an opportunity to learn the content, but it's also a practical application through the software and
You're fading out there a little bit, Cody.
materials that you receive.
Would you say that one more time because you faded out, please? Cody, are you there?
Cut off, or am I good?
Okay, I hear you now.
Yeah, absolutely. Full Sail's Project Launchbox is a good example of, I apologize. Launchbox would be a really good example of how to make digital learning hands-on, even though there is a physical aspect to it. But just having access to the software really does give a chance, especially in this program, the IDTMS, practical application of making a keynote in the first class. Like that would be a hands-on application of a digital process, in my opinion.
Ooh, very good. So hands-on doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a hammer and nail in your hand, right? It doesn't mean you
No,
have to have a pencil or a
absolutely.
pen in your hand, does it?
No.
No, I mean digital hands. You know, that's one of the best explanations I've had. Best analogy. Would you say that one more time? Serious,
Good.
dead serious. Would you say that one more time? Because I've had students go. I ask them, "Can digital be hands-on?" Well, that's the answer. That's sometimes that's the response. Would you tell us again for the class to hear your analogy just then?
Yeah, so Full Sail offers a project launch box that we all received prior to entering the program. And what it came with was a set of tools and materials. Yes, there's a laptop, and that part is physical, but the digital portion of that would, of course, be the application of the software. So last month in Mastery, we made a keynote as our last presentation. That is certainly a hands-on application of a digital concept being learned.
Excellent, excellent. So in other words, you're using technology, weren't you, with the
Absolutely. Yeah.
lunchbox? I've never seen the term. I mean, what I should say, I've never seen the launch box. Okay, what goes inside the launch? What is in the launch box itself?
It depends on the program, but for this program, we got MacBook Pros, and
Mm-hmm.
it came with a camera, like
Okay.
a tiny point and shoot camera, and then it also comes with the Adobe Creative Cloud and ScreenFlow. And I think there's something else, but I'm forgetting what it is.
Do your earphones come with it?
Do our earphones? No, no, no. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, all right. So cool. That lunchbox sounds fun. I mean, I've heard of different parts of it, but and we've talked some, but I've never actually seen what is
Mm-hmm.
in the launch box, but I guess it's part of it is also the software as well that comes with it. Software is way cool with that. I mean the Adobe Creative Cloud, etc. You betcha. All right, now the technology that we have. Excuse me. I'm sorry, fighting allergies and colds right now. Um, would you say that the launch box helps promote interactivity? What's in the launch box,
Absolutely.
and how so? All right, I'm a
Uh,
student. Rather, I am thinking of coming into Full Sail. All right, and you're going to tell me about the launch box. Go for it.
uh, Yeah. So if materials and tools are something that's concerning to anybody, and this could isn't necessarily a Full Sail specific thing. This could be applied to virtually any learning environment that has some kind of digital component to it.
True
Essentially,
that.
what we could do is provide them with a set of tools, materials, or even just software that they can essentially do a hands-on application of the theory or the concepts that they're learning in their classroom. So if you're a, and I keep going back to graphic design just because I did work with, I've worked with graphic design students a lot, and I'm very interested in that facet of entertainment. Um, so with graphic design, if you are taking a graphic design course and you're learning about color theory, in addition to taking classes in color theory and learning about and taking a lecture on color theory, then you get to go home and you get to use a software that you get to practice your color theory. So
Ooh,
like
yeah,
Photoshop.
yeah,
So that's
excellent.
what it would be.
You're gonna have fun with this program. I, I'm I'm already gonna. I'm going back to my program director and said, watch for this student.
Good,
Watch
thank
what
you.
he does. Watch what he does. Okay. So would you say promotes collaboration?
Absolutely.
How so?
Online chat rooms are a lot more efficient to enter. I'm currently in this lecture right now from my car. That wouldn't happen if I weren't in an online program.
I thought I heard a tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
a blinker.
Yep.
Cody, you shouldn't be looking at the screen while you're in the car either.
Wink. I'm not.
Wink, wink. Anyway, no, but definitely promotes collaboration. Look what we're doing. Like you said, look what we're doing right now. Okay, the best online experience I've ever had, or rather, I've had a lot of them, but was when I was taking a class from Brigham Young University. Okay, but I was working over in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, halfway around the world,
Right.
and so what happened was that my professor wanted me to attend class. Well, class there was meeting like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which was like 2 o'clock in the morning my time where I was. Okay, so usually I would listen to the archive. I've never forgotten this, Cody. Ever forgotten this. Finally, I said I'm biting the bullet. I'm going to get a little sleep. I'm going to stay up and attend class online,
Mhm.
live. And so I did that. And they saw me on that end, and I could hear them. This is back in the let's see, late '90s, early 2000s. Okay,
Mhm.
and I took I went into I logged in at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I could hear them, and they could hear me. I said, "Hello, everybody. This is Rio. I'm here."
Mhm.
Cody, that was my. I guess I say it's my best one ever because how do you say this? Because their room, the other students started shouting and clapping, going, "Yay! Rio's here! Rio's here!" Okay, Rio almost started crying. Came to my eyes. Seriously, here I was on the other side of the world, able to attend this class. Okay, and my classmates were cheering me on because I was there with them at that moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And
accountability.
the accountability, yes, and be able to really collaborate with them live and be able to
Mhm.
present to them. That was such a great thing of getting to be able to do that. The worst learning experience, online experience, was having to take that training before that I was telling you about at this other institution,
Mhm.
where and it was again it was about how to make things interactive, but it was all 2 columns of text on the screen reading it all day.
Yeah.
That was like bleh. All right. Okay. So, it, as you know, the technology helps take learning outside the classroom, and we'll talk about more of
Right.
those. We'll talk more of those next week, and I'll show you some examples of that. So, let me ask you this: Have you ever heard the term transfer of learning?
Kind of.
Okay, it's when you're 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 training in a situation. All right, you're giving training in a
Mhm.
simulation, if you will, and your students master that simulation training or that
Mhm.
practicing, and then they then go out on the floor and actually apply it. Now
Mhm.
they've been given um, situations to where they had to overcome scenarios, so on and so forth, and had to work through those issues. And now they're ready to go out on the floor and do it on their own.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that as a training coordinator, that you new people coming into your department, uh,
Mhm.
as far as uh, admissions is concerned, right?
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
they're given training, right?
Yes, of course.
Where in a safe environment, and you probably give them scenarios, something that maybe they have problems they have to overcome in dealing with a particular student or a prospective student, etc. Right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Then the time comes where they've learned that and they've gone through that, they've passed the training. Now they go figuratively out on the floor, if you will,
Mhm. Right.
where they actually receive live phone calls from students
Yes.
or from prospective students, right?
Yes.
That's when that return on investment really occurs. Okay,
Mhm.
and you'll be seeing this if you haven't seen it already. You'll see this in one of the case studies, and they talk about return on investment or
Yes.
transfer of learning when they're able to do it on their own, apply it to the situations on their own.
That's chapter 11, right?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I just read it today, so that's why I know.
How dare you read ahead of?
Yeah.
Well, uh, it's like learning how to change a tire. You watch someone change a tire, but you don't know if you've really learned to change the tire or not until you actually do it yourself. That's another form of transfer of learning, another example of that.
Right.
Okay. All right. We'll tell you what, let's do this then. We're going to talk about game based learning, but not tonight. Okay. I want to pick
Hmm.
up from this, from where we've been at this now about 40 minutes or so. So, what I'd like to do with you for starting next week, we'll pick up on game based learning. How about that?
Okay, perfect. That sounds awesome.
Any questions about what we are doing with the blog, etc.? Do you want us to go into it? Do we need to take a look at it with you tonight? Actually, tell you what. Let's do this real fast.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's come back into here, and we're going to go into Wix. This is for those who are maybe watching the archive. And let's see. I already I'm going to log in. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I'm logging in from my perspective as an instructor here, but you should see something similar to this where you come into the blog
Yeah, I see. This is exactly what I see. Yeah.
right now. Okay, then you come to the blog and go click on that, and
Mhm.
away we go, everybody. And let's say look bridging our future. We want you want to respond to that one. Uh, which you last week all of you responded to two of you. This week you're going to respond to three of them. You look at
Mhm.
the instructions here. Refer to trends and issues in instructional design. Identify 3 to 5 learning engagement principles from the readings, and then you respond to this in your own words. Hey, look at this.
Mhm.
When when does transfer learning actually occur? Okay. No, and this goes hand in hand. Actually, what we talked about earlier with that
Mhm.
return on investment. Yes, chapter 11. You're saying okay. Uh,
Yeah.
but anyway, then you respond to it. You respond to it by coming down here. You want to, and uh, we already have somebody who responded here. You log in to leave a comment. You have to log in again. Don't sign up again. I mean, you just log in with your email, just like I did a minute ago. It makes you log in twice if you want to. If you have to log in to see it, then you have to log in again um, to you have to log in again to leave a comment. Now you can go down to the bottom, everybody, and you write your comment, and then you publish it. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. Good, 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 good. Anyway, everybody, that's what you do. Okay. Easy enough as such. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Cody. I've found that students have questions, and sometimes they say, "I know I'm going to have questions, but I have questions, but I don't know what they're going to be just yet." Okay. Are there any questions that you may have that you want to that you want to bring up? Because if you've got the question, somebody else may have the same question.
Um, yeah, I think that my question is in regards to the glossary. Because I was traveling last week, I actually haven't gotten to watch last week's archive lecture, which is why I was so adamant about attending this one because I didn't want to be two lectures behind. I'm sure that you discussed it last week because it was in the notes for it. But for the glossary, I haven't begun. When is that due by the end of the class or?
What did it? No, just you should do it weekly. Okay,
Okay,
do it weekly because I'm pulling up an example. Well, I'm doing it on a separate browser because I don't want to show anybody's grades or anything like that. Let's see.
absolutely.
Um, Let me see here. Let's go to preview. All right, that's safe
Mhm.
this way. Okay. All right. Anyway, um, like let's go to week two activities for example. Okay.
Right.
So there's the reflection assignment. Let's see the two. Let's see. I forget. Let's see. It's in the foundational course documents, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Discussion board. Okay. What is this? Okay. Note that it's a zero weight, but you still do it
Right.
though. Okay. Like we've
Right.
given some examples from past students right here. All right.
Okay.
What it is that these are new ideas for the glossary. These are where students can go and look at. They go, I'm having trouble finding something that I can use later on, or that could be
Got it.
used. Okay, so we're building a library, if you will, uh, um, of ideas that students in the future can also use, and students in the course right now can use as well, because
Okay.
this really comes into play um, during week three, where
Okay.
you will be creating your own case study. And here's what we're trying to do ahead of time, where you're finding things that, I'm working on these things right now. I can't do every one of these things, but I can find the ones that I can't do. Maybe I can put in here so that
Mhm.
others can have be a helpful tool to them.
Okay. Awesome. And then would you like us to drop those into that discussion board
Yeah,
right there?
yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah, I'd be happy
yeah,
to do that.
that's perfect. Let's see, because this is a discussion board. Yes, just drop it. Go to the discussion board, and drop them in there
Right.
so people can see them. That's why
Okay.
that's why we don't have it as a particular assignment. Others couldn't see it then. This way, everyone has access to it. Okay,
Awesome. All right. That was really my only question. Thank you. I appreciate it.
you're very welcome. Everybody, keep the lines of communication open with me, okay? Because I am here for you. Okay, you're my students, and I take pride in my students when they take pride in their own selves. I say that because Cody, a few years ago, I had a student who asked me, Dr. Rio, what's the lowest grade I can get and still pass? And my chin about hit the floor like that. I'm going, no, 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 don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself
Mhm.
because my students are better than that. Okay, just want you to know that. You
Yeah.
better be. No. All right. Anyway, that's all I have. And so again, the communication lines are always open. I check my email all the time. That's the
Mhm.
best way to get a hold of me is through email because I will check it uh, several times during the day. If it's an emergency,
Yeah.
call me on my Google Voice number and we can talk. If there's any problem with the instructions that need clarification or anything like that, just call me. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you
Good
so much,
enough.
Dr. McBride.
All right. Thank you. Take care. And here's what I always say at the end of a discussion or end of a meeting: work hard, have fun, make history, and make it so. Number one, engage. All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much, Dr. McBride. Have a great night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.